Can you confirm for me that crab in a barrel is a popular topic in Black culture? Can you confirm that for me?
Does anybody have a raven? My kingdom for a raven.
This is Ron Dawson. I got 3 niggas with me.
Right.
Let's go.
Hey there, all you girls, boys, and non-binaries. Welcome to another episode of Dungeons and Durags. And if you're wondering what happened to Adu, his brain was planted into a white man, a la Get Out. And so that is what has happened.
He's suffering from vitiligo real quick.
That too. No, I'm just joking. We have Dave from the Lorehounds, the patron saint of the network that we are part of. Welcome back, Dave.
Thanks for having
me. Is this your first or second time back since we did the pre-show recording?
This is my 3rd time on.
Yeah, right. That's what I thought. So it's
my number 3 count. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we want to have Dave for a couple of things. One, we're going to do a quick sort of like overall recap of House of the Dragon. Obviously, we had our final episode discussion last week.
Yeah, can I say one thing about your final episode?
What'd you say?
Yeah. Can I just one thing? Can I just a note for JD? Remember to breathe, man, because like I was worried you were going to stroke out during that.
I know. I get on rants. You were on. Oh my god.
So if you haven't seen that, check out the channel, go watch it, or if you're listening, you can find it on our feed. So we'll have just like a recap of that, and then in another episode, we're going to talk about the first episode of Lantern. So this week, you'll probably see 2 Dungeons and Dragons episodes drop on your YouTube and podcast feeds. One for House of Dragon, one for Lanterns. So House of Dragon, overall, and I know, Dave, you had a couple questions that you had dropped. Before we get to those, though, everyone, kind of like a round robin, overall, how would you say you felt about the season? In terms of like, did you like it? Did you not like it? If you want to rate it, how would you do that? How would you compare it to some of the other Game of Thrones shows? Why don't we start with you, Dave? Yeah,
so Jean and I are going to do our season wrap tomorrow. We've got our recording scheduled for that. And we've got a lot of feedback from the community. And and that's one of the things I was really curious to see, like, what you guys made up, because I've been following your episodes all the way through the season. I spat my coffee out multiple times while I was listening to you guys in the morning with the episode. And I know there's a lot of Lorehounds have been enjoying your guys' coverage as well.
Good.
Discord.
And you probably got a deeper understanding of the lore, I'm sure, listening to us, right, Dave?
Right.
Of course.
Well, Ron had to explain a few things for me. And once I got that, once Ron set me straight about menstruation cycles and a few other things, I was good. I was like,
well, the turban diaper, that's important.
Right, exactly. If only I had known when I had my first child.
Adu broke it down for us.
But do you know who Bronny James is the most important thing.
What?
Never mind.
That's because Ron failed that test. That was one of his.
Oh my god!
Do I get to play my white card and get out of?
Yeah, you get out of jail. Ron, there's no excuse. Now he's mad. That's what's messed up. He's trying to suck you into that black hole. His black hole on blackness.
Well, I'm his white friend from.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, Ron has white friends. He has a right friend.
Right.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I live in Canada. I live near Canada anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
With his girlfriend. Yeah, you're
right. So, what did you think of the show overall, Dave?
Yeah. So going into this season, I was doing my season 1 and season 2 rewatch, and I remember starting season 1 and just going, "Oh my god!" Like the first 2/3 of season 1 is just so hard to watch. Not because anything was bad, like production was good, acting is good, dialogue is good, set everything, like, Patty Constantine is like that he was like made for that role as Viserys. Absolutely, Amelia Alcock was great. But they're just fucking horrible people. Mm-hmm. And you're just watching horrible people be horrible to each other. And there's not like a singular bad guy. Like this year we had Ormond, right? Like, oh, okay, we got like this guy who got ass fucked at the end. That was also proper fucking from the door.
Right.
That is like one of my favorite audio clips now. But they were just all horrible to each other, and you're just like, oh my god. And then at about 2/3 of the way through, it kind of the season flips, and it's like, oh, okay, we're through. And then season 2, I enjoyed season 2 much better relative to season 1. Season 3, I'm gonna have to think on it, but it's not any worse than season 2. Like I don't feel like they've nosed over and they're in a dive that they're going to have to pull the franchise out of. I think this held its own, if not a little bit better. I mean, on the dragon side of things, the CGI, the way they handled it, all of the stuff, like if you listen to any of our coverage, Jean was really into the fact that we are learning a lot more about what it is to be a dragon rider and how dragon riders interact with their dragons and what's the range of the dragon Wi-Fi and the dragon Bluetooth and how does that all work? And so on that, it scored really well. I thought just Matt Smith is freaking amazing. Emma Darcy was just fire this year. So I think they're hitting some strides, and I got to see what the community feedback comes in at, and then I got to sit with it a little bit. But I think it might be my favorite season so far. Not that it didn't have flaws, but compared to season 1 and season 2, I think just in a relative scale, I think I enjoyed this season more. There's more action going on. We had armies on the march, and we had a clear bad guy with Ormond and stuff like that. So, but it also brought in a little bit of that Game of Thronesy stuff where we're hopping around a little bit and we're meeting some other characters and we're jetpacking around and here and there. So, I think they did a good. But then they kept us also centered. Like when we were at Harrenhal, we were at Harrenhal. When we were in King's Landing, we were in King's Landing. So we moved around, but they didn't really disorient us. And you're not like, wait a minute, how did Jon Snow get from here to there in a night?
Right.
So I know I'm feeling pretty positive about it, and I think that bodes well for the franchise overall. Which is one of my questions. I was curious about what you guys all were thinking about the franchise as a whole. But sure. So just on that, I think it's good. I'm good.
Cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Javon?
I liked it a lot. I also think it was probably my favorite season so far, and it was because of the action that kind of moved it. The first season, even the first season, it didn't feel like it moved a lot, though there was action happening. It was drama happening, but not physical action. And not that I have to have physical action all the time. You don't have to always have swords and dragons to make a story, but
I can just hear a dude boring.
Right, exactly.
exactly.
I'm glad you inserted that, because that's what most of this season wasn't. There were a couple of lulls, but most of the season wasn't boring. And I think the best thing about the season is that it did keep you, it's hard to say keep you guessing, but we as an audience knew what was going on, and we were just waiting for everybody else to know what was going on. I don't feel like that all happened a lot, especially in the first season. Second season maybe, but you knew Aemon was over here doing something. You knew Aegon was over here doing something. You knew, Daemon and the High Towers were over here doing something. And I guess the anticipation and knowing that it was slowly coming together is what helped what helped the season roll along, because you just knew that something like that was going to happen. Now, throwing in the dragon riders and their weird ups and downs and losing a wife and not feeling respected over here and not feeling respected over there and not getting your hair done over here. Those sprinklings were great. But the weird thing was you didn't have to have them. They added to a lot of what was going on, but in terms of the main storyline and the main battles that were going on, the side dragon riders were side dragon riders. So I hate to say it, but I can see them all getting killed in some way, and still liking what's going to happen. So in my book, that means it was a great season, and it gives me something to look forward to.
Cool. It's interesting. The B plot stayed the B plot. It never
Yes.
overshadowed the A plot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think, JD?
I agree with these guys. I had a real fun time watching it. I think the character development was is what propelled it. I think with what Javon just said about all the different factions and of people and their little storylines, it served to, I think, create chaos in the show in a certain way that kind of imposed itself on Rhaenyra. So it's like when she's having all these issues, it's because the Dragon Riders, or it's because of Daemon, or it's because of Aemon. All these things are kind of, stuff that even things that she's not aware of. It's kind of having its effect on her, trying to wrangle down this kingdom that she doesn't have control over. And so it was fun seeing that. And I actually dug. I thought I think it was episode 3 where she got into the kingdom, and then it was just
where she got the throne.
Yeah, where everybody's just asking for things, and there wasn't a lot of fighting or whatnot, but you just saw her exasperated and walking into this tempest that she was unprepared for.
That was the best episode of the season.
Yeah, it was pretty. But I know, like, I do thought it was boring.
I know.
So it's like, but for me, it was like just intriguing, with the power struggles, whatnot. So, I agree with you guys. And the thing I would say is, I think with all that character development, that also helped enhance the action, where they had a lot of action, but it's because we had these concrete, dramatic, conflicting moments with the characters that kind of bolstered the storytelling. So it wasn't like, sometimes you get these sword and sandal shows or whatever, and it's just a whole bunch of action, but the story's kind of stupid or doesn't really hit on all. It doesn't match the level of action and fighting or whatever. But I felt like a lot of the drama in this did. And we're talking about Game of Thrones, dude. So I mean, it's already a premiere show that they already do a really great job. But yeah, this was a good season. I dug it.
Yeah. I would say I don't think I'm as high on the season as you guys are. I liked it. But I can't explain why right now, but I feel like when I rewatched seasons 1 and 2, I came out of those rewatches feeling like, wow, I forgot how amazing these 2 seasons were. I think I liked them more than other people. I understand and I can appreciate the criticisms that season 1 had and the reasons why people like season 2 more.
It's just dry pie. Like, you're just like, oh my God, it's all crust. Sure. There's no filling. You're just like, oh, fuck.
I'm going to use that.
And I think to give it credit, though, it's also like setting up. It had to establish itself from Game of Thrones, so it's going to take a little bit more time to meander and let you get your bearings. But
yeah, right. So I think hands down, the battles in this season far outweigh anything we saw. I mean, we didn't see I don't think we saw any battles in season 1. I think season 2 ended with them about to go to battle. So.
Yeah, which I think pissed a lot of people off, and so that
and I still kind of see episodes 1 and 2 of this season as really 9 and 10 of season 2, but we won't go there again. So
I think too, when people in years to come and they like, oh, what's this, House of the Dragon thing? I think I'll watch it for the first time.
Yeah,
they're gonna just go zoop, and there's gonna be no season differentiation.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But when at the end of this one, I didn't have that same level of elevation that I had at the end of the other 2. Like, I kind of felt like the really high highs of the other 2 seasons, like the big episodes where something big happened, whether it was Aemon getting Vagar for the first time on that episode, or the episode where he kills his brother, which I think was like episode 9 of season 2.
What episode would that be, Ron? That's The penultimate episode.
The penultimate. That would be the penultimate episode. That is a common word.
Gas.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just letting you know.
I'm just clarifying. You know, I'm with
So
Check out JD over here with the argon gas, though.
right.
you. Right. Floating around Darth Vader's head. I got the argon gas.
Right. But for season 3, like I said, the battles I thought were good. I thought if I had a criticism for season 3, I kind of felt like the ups and downs of what Rhaenyra went through a little bit more erratic than I think I would have liked. It's not nearly as bad as what they did to Daenerys, but there was a little bit of expediting her escalation to Mad Queen, or
that's what frustrated me last week. I don't see that. I don't
see that at all.
You don't see what? You don't see what?
I don't think that they rushed her. I think
rushed
that
her.
she's.
I'm
just going off what you said.
Expedite.
I specifically said I don't.
Okay.
Expedite means rush. I know you didn't say rush, but expedite means
right.
rush.
Technically, you did not say rush. You used the word expedite.
I
So
said
I stand corrected. I stand corrected.
I said I feel like they expedited it a little bit.
Yeah,
And I made a point.
Someone could say they rushed it a little bit, but I stand corrected. I'm sorry. My bad.
So I was wondering, because all this prior conversation has been very calm and measured and thoughtful. Everybody's been. And it's like, is this the Dungeons and Dragons?
Right. I just didn't want to interrupt because I'll get on a rant and then I'll take over 30 minutes of the show.
Right.
Now I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be here, right?
But all right. For real though.
And also, Dave, I just want him to say all his bullshit out front so I can confront him on it after he says it.
No,
I'm setting the trap. That's how you lay the trap out.
Right,
It's a setup.
Just listen. Just listen. Just listen. There were times where in one episode she was like, "I'm the queen, damn it," and another episode she is kind of not as tough as she was in the prior episode, and then I just I don't know. I just feel like you look at her.
That was the war between Daemon and Massaria,
right?
But not only that, she's walking into this world, this thing that she's coveted for so long, and then when she gets there, she doesn't know how to handle it. I mean, you even made the point. You made the excellent point that Viserys never had her sit in on the meetings, so she doesn't know how all this shit works. And so, one time, this fool's coming up asking, "Oh, we need more bread in the bakery, or we need this, or we need more tiles on the roofs." Everybody's asking for all this bullshit, and she's like, "I don't even have the kingdom under control. Y'all motherfuckers got to sit down, take a breath. Let me kill Aemon and Aegon before we get into all the other stuff." And so I think for me, I love that because it's like it really, and also the chaos that happens around the kingdom is something that was always like in Shakespeare. When you have a fucked up leader on top of the kingdom, the kingdom's not going to function properly. It's like having a wayward ship with no captain, and that's what you got going on. And she's trying to seize the helm of this ship that everybody keeps pulling her from all these different directions.
No, I think that's fair, and maybe. I mean, I could be misremembering it. Like I said, I
like her because she was a meanie. You're a Captain Save-A-Ho.
No.
You want her to save everybody, and she was a meanie. I get it.
No, I mean, so the question is, can you buy? And I think it is reasonable to buy that from episode 2 or 3, where she's like you said, JD, she's like giving niggas free food and everything to
Social Security and dental plans and all kind of bullshit. It's like, yo, we got some other shit that's higher on the list.
Right. I mean, if I did a rewatch, I'd probably not feel as strong. I think you guys made strong cases for it. I'm not saying first of all, making that I like the season.
Right.
I really like the season. I think part of me is feeling like it deserves more than 8 episodes. I think maybe that is. Whoa! Someone got shot.
Sorry, that's my daughter just came into the house. She's
and shot you
through my office door.
I think So maybe that's what I'm feeling. Was season 2 8 episodes also? Yeah, it was. Season 2 was.
Let me pose something here.
Yeah.
because I know that we're all kind of liberal progressive on this show. Do you think that that maybe modern politics is influencing how you feel about
who me personally?
Yeah, like maybe that kind of plays into that where because I don't like there's no part of me that feels that she's been irrational or I feel like she's been treading water, trying to catch up, get up to speed with what she needs to do. But I also feel like sometimes I felt like you were saying, well, this isn't fair. She's not smart. She's not a Democrat. If Joe Biden had the job, he would. And I'm like, I just don't. I don't think you understand. Like, this is not modern. This is more equivalent to medieval times and
right
the way life was back then. Even though I know it's on a different planet and not Earth.
No,
I just think that stuff you got to. So that's why I enjoy it because it keeps. It's kind of showing the essence of that lifestyle and
sure.
But even so, I mean, shit. You look at modern day politics, and even though it's not that crude, there's still a lot of fucked up stuff going on that that we can glean from this show, and that's kind of.
Well, no, I think it's interesting. You were going to say something, David?
Yeah, I thought just to jump off of JD's point, that was one of the points that I had emailed you earlier about today, which I don't know if this is a good segue to this. But one of the things that I've been really thinking about all season long, and I was curious to get your guys' perspective on, for me, one of the main themes of the season was, and the show overall, is all about power.
Oh, right.
Who has power? Who do we give our power to? What happens when we hold power? What happens when we use power? How does using power affect us? What happens if we have power but we don't use it? And how does that affect us? What happens when we're like, we want to take our power back, maybe individually or collectively? And like you were saying, JD, there's that's what's interesting about the show is that we get to then reflect out of this show. Well, did Kamala actually have any power? Or did Joe Biden hold all the power and then not let her actually run, So
way too long to screw her up, and then the Democrats didn't have a primary battle, they didn't have a,
If you think about it, there's
a way of legitimizing power.
There's a lot of parallels between Biden and Viserys and Kamala and Rhaenyra.
Wow.
But I would say that's what Game of Thrones is, just the name.
Sure.
I mean, I know this is House of Dragons, but it's the part of the Game of Thrones universe, and it's like it's all about these levers. It's almost like we're watching a mousetrap game. It's just lever after lever. It's always about power. It's everything you just said, Dave. On every show, every season, it's all about we're just looking at fuckery. We're just looking at political fuckery going on, and everybody's exploiting everybody else. There's no like, oh, this is peaceful times. The war's ended, and we've got 50 years of prosperity. No, it's like there's always something going on where somebody's manipulating or turning the screws or doing some underhanded, shady shit, which is why people love it.
My daughter and I have been watching, I don't know if you guys seen this, there's a new World War II 20-part series that's hosted by Tom Hanks.
Oh, of course.
I think it was on the History Channel thing. And so we watched that and so as we were finishing up watching that and sort of getting to the end and they're covering the stuff of the final days of Germany and the final days of Japan, in their relative time frames. We're going into these, battles in Westeros here with, House of the Dragon. And G. Wayne says to Darren one time, and I forget the exact quote, but they're just going, "Oh man, Ormond is crazy. Like how we got to do something about this." And G. Wayne's like, "Yeah, it's crazy when we give our power away to crazy people like this. What do we, we're just all of humanity suffers because this asshole over here thinks that they're, something, they're huge." So, and of course I'm thinking about, Adolf Hitler and the Japanese military command, and it wasn't so straightforward. I mean, there's an emperor, but there's a bunch of generals as well. And the generals are like, we're not giving up, right? We're going to fight to the death, last man. And the emperor's like, well, I don't know if that's such a good idea. And like, there's all this kind of tension within Japan about, how far they're going to take the war and then the president, blah, blah, blah. But it's this idea that like, yeah, we give these people our power, and then we're like, oh shit, they're driving us down a really bad road. When do we take it back? How do we take it back? What's
Right.
our pathway? What are our choices? What are our legitimate choices to stop this madness?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
And on the power thing, Ron, I agree with everything there, but I also feel like the main driving, I guess, narrative of this is, to me, is Rhaenyra not using her power. Once she gets it, she's gotten it.
Yeah.
And all the little things that come, the administrative stuff, going after Aemon, doing this, doing that, she has the power to just say, let's do this. And it doesn't seem to happen often enough to where she's just like, okay, we have a problem with rats. Let's fix the rats problem. And just say it, let it go, and move to the next thing. But it's like she's sitting there with her mouth open, like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? All she has to do as queen is assert herself in some situations, and she gets pulled everywhere. And that is what, I don't know if she's the Mad Queen or not. I forget what the historical reference is, but that's what seems to be driving her crazy, is that she's being pulled in so many directions. But she does have the power. It's not a power struggle here. She has it. She's doesn't feel like she's legitimate. She doesn't feel like she has the dragons. She has the throne. She has a small council. She has an army. She has it all. But for some reason, and we're watching this happen, everything feels like it's teetering. And I don't know why. There's no real reason.
It goes back to her daddy issues.
Right.
Definitely.
Because daddy didn't actually have her sit, like you guys were talking in your final episode. Viserys didn't actually have her chair the small council. Didn't actually have her sit and do the small folk, petitions and make it, and incrementally making more and more decisions. And actually, this is how you move these levers. This is how you push this button. You want to manipulate the Master of Whisperers. You got to have a separate network that's watching the network and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Nobody ever taught her shit.
And not to mention her dad.
He knew.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How much did he know? He just kind of, everybody was like, oh, jovial old white dude, every piece of the kingdom's at peace. Like, we'll just ride, we'll just,
And that you could kind of feel that's what she picked up on. It was like this, go along to get along. Hey, everybody's friends. We're all good. We're all cool. Kumbaya.
We'll do some
It's like, no,
Right.
they just killed your son.
So the more I think about it, I think my comparison to Biden and Harris is that much stronger, because one of the big downfalls of Kamala was not disconnecting herself completely from Biden. Like when asked, on The View, what would you do differently? She didn't have a good answer for that.
Yeah, that was horrible. One of the worst political moments ever in history.
But I think it's analogous to Rhaenyra in the first half of the season, trying to rule like her dad, not really disconnecting herself. And not until the end, where she was calling him by his name, not even calling him our father anymore. She was just calling him, Viserys. And so, I think all the points you made were good. I think, JD, you asked me, is the political climate, and I think about like some of the jokes I made in the earlier episodes where I said she's feeling kind of Trumpy, because like in that episode 3, she was worried about her coronation, and it made me think about Trump in his ballroom. And so like maybe I was making
put some more gold up in the small council.
Right.
That's right. maybe I was making some subconscious connections there. But overall, I think the episode, I think the season was a solid season. It was fun to discuss. I feel like there's a lot to have to get through with only one season left. I'm a little concerned about season 4. And, I've made a point not to spoil myself, but when I've listened to, podcasts from people like who've read the books or have watched videos, they've suggested there's a lot to get through in order to, and only 8 episodes left. And so
To reach the conclusion of the book series.
Exactly. Right. Thankfully we actually have a completed book, so we don't we know it,
we don't have showrunners checking out halfway through the season. I'm out, bitches, peace.
Right. Because I don't think Gurm is ever going to finish the main series.
He's too traumatized now. He's so traumatized.
Yeah, I don't think it can happen. And I feel sorry for, like, I'm not a book reader, so I kind of feel sorry for the book readers who've been waiting like 20, 30 years, or however how long it's been since the last book came out. Well, I'm looking forward to season 4. I think it sucks we're gonna have to wait another 2 years before it comes out.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Let me point something out too, really quick. I don't know a lot of the histories. I haven't read the book, but obviously I hang out with a lot of people who do.
Right.
But so I won't spoil anything. But I will point out that in the tapestry, when Rhaenyra is looking at it before she closes the window, she sees herself standing there.
Yes, we all see that. Yeah.
Flames.
But what's in the background?
Yeah, it's chaos. You see
upside down dragons. There's like a disconnected dragon
claw.
Yeah,
she has.
I didn't notice that.
There's like flames behind
flames
the
everywhere.
castle.
I saw the flames, and it looked like she had a red lightsaber or something.
Yeah. But it's behind what's going on. Are dragons going?
Yeah. I mean, it seems
there's no dragons in Game of Thrones. Remember?
Right.
And same thing with
all the dragons are killed.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms as well, which is about exactly halfway between Game of Thrones and this. Yeah. So we know by Night of the Seven Kingdoms, there are no more dragons. Targaryens are still ruling. So it'll be curious to see. Yep. I'm assuming, like, I haven't read the book, so I don't know, but I'm assuming we are going to see whatever ends all the dragons, and we're going to figure out which Targaryen ends up sitting on the throne.
And that's a lot to punch through in
8 episodes.
Is it 8 or 9? I thought it was 9.
I thought it was 8.
Okay, I think you might be right. Yeah.
So anyway,
that's a lot.
We'll see. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to have Night of the Seven Kingdoms in between.
Right.
So we're going to have a Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We're supposed to have another Night of the Seven Kingdoms next year,
which would be great. That's
fair. Yeah, just to keep everything.
Aren't they doing a movie? They're doing a movie too.
Yeah, I remember that. So
really?
Feature movie. Yeah.
So it's gonna be good stuff. Good stuff. Anywho, it's been fun discussing it this season. Shout out to Do wherever he is today. David, thanks for coming on to take his place.
I'm not taking a dude's place. That big. There's no black man's brain in this white man's body.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
I cannot replace that man.
All right.
But no, thanks for having me over, and I really enjoyed your guys' coverage. And I'll just really put a plug out. Yeah. So we have our final season wrap-up podcast, which we're recording tomorrow relative to when we're recording this. So it'll be out at the end of this week.
Cool.
And then Jean and I are rolling forward on Lanterns.
Lanterns, nice.
We did our first podcast. We talked for about 2 hours about it because Jean knows all about comic book stuff. I'm not a comic book reader.
Yeah.
So he had some really great insights. And
cool.
Not just from a lore standpoint, but just from a character standpoint.
Yeah. Beat that out.
Yeah.
Javon, all right.
That'll be interesting. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, check out that podcast because it's out now. So
yeah, for sure. I'll have links to the main Lorehounds page as I do every week. But anyway, thanks a lot again for anyone who's listening. Thanks for listening. If you're watching, do all the things like share, subscribe. And be sure to check out the feed for our coverage of episode 1 of Lanterns, which we will begin discussing soon. But until then, peace.
Peace.